Hey everyone, this is Ivy for another edition of the Executive Corner. I'm here with the beautiful Darlene Brown. She is my comrade, and we're going to talk to her about her business and what she does so you guys can get inspired, motivated, and get some good nuggets to help you as you go along in your life. So, Darlene, tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I am a personal development coach, a business leadership coach, inspirational speaker, training facilitator. I do all of that under Divine Empowerment. I've been in business for 8 years, and I absolutely love what I do.
Now, tell us more. What is an empowerment coach?
Okay, an empowerment coach is someone that truthfully will help you understand what is already in you. And so I'm not giving anyone anything. We all are empowered. Often it's lying dormant inside of us. And so what I do is help people define what it is that they truly want and then tap into it from within by helping them define a plan that really is a functional, operational plan in a day-to-day life on how to really achieve what it is that they want.
Is that difficult to do? Because, like you said, it may be laying dormant, and a lot of people go down the path that they think that they should be doing, and sometimes it's a totally different direction. So is that the difficult thing to help people realize that?
It is difficult, but it does require a person being willing to be open and transparent. And so the first thing that I do when I work with anyone is I provide them with a complimentary coaching session. And that session is free, of course. We schedule it. And I tell them to come with one question, one area of a challenge that they're having, and I give them a solution. At the end of that, I tell them how my process works as a business owner, what my packages are, how much they cost, and I give them the option. Many will choose to move forward because when you provide value to something that they are struggling with, then of course it's like, yes, I want, you just answered, you just give me, the light bulb kind of goes off, and they want to move forward. And from that process, I have a questionnaire that is very intensive. So they answer this questionnaire so that I can gather the data and information, and from that, I'm able to help them see, well, here's where your blocks are. Okay, here is where you might have a crack in your infrastructure that is leaking or bleeding, causing you from not really living at your maximum potential or operating at the highest level of efficiency and effectiveness, and it works.
So what sparked you to choose this as something to do, as your niche 8 years in?
8 years in, I have to tell you, I've been a business owner for more than 8 years. So initially I had a production company. I've done television, I've done radio, I've done live events, hiring entertainers to come and perform. So I've always been in business, and I've always been a speaker. I didn't know early on that that was actually my calling or my gift or my purpose, that my ability to effectively articulate language in a way that captivated people that could feel it. And so from that, God actually said, you know, divine empowerment. He gave me the name. You become what you speak into your life, the power of the spoken word. And when he initially gave it to me, I thought, divine, you know, it's not a church. I'm an empowerment person. I believe in being empowered because it's something that's from within. So I understood that. I didn't really fully understand the entire vision. But as I trusted and went through the process and the training, I began to see that I was always doing this. I've been doing it all my life. I've been coaching people all my life. I've been the person to say, you can do it, you got it, try this. I've been your greatest cheerleader. I've been your person to connect you with resources or people to take you to that next step. I've always been that person, even in high school. So then I realized that really is my gift. That truly is why I'm here. That's truly what I'm supposed to be doing. And anytime you get to live your purpose or you identify why you're here, there's such fulfillment in it. So as I started to do this, the joy, the fulfillment of being of service to help someone else move forward is greater than any amount of money you can get. Now, clearly I'm a businesswoman, and so I understand business infrastructure, but it's really about the ability of what I say, being a vessel, you know, or a bridge that really gets a person from this A side to this B side. That's what's really exciting, and I really love it.
That's awesome. You know what? I've learned that the things you do when you were younger are typically the things you should try to, that God is steering you to do. But sometimes we'll say, "Oh, I think I want to do that," and we run off and get our little hearts broken and have to come back, circle back to try to figure out who we are. So, who are some of the people that you've worked with?
I've worked with Les Brown. I've worked with George Fraser. I've worked with Trevor Otts as a marketing strategist. Che Brown as a sales guru. Amazing. I've worked with Ian Van Zandt. I've worked with Reverend Valerie Love. I'm certified in emotional intelligence. I'm certified in social styles, which is a business leadership module. I'm certified in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I've really invested in my craft, my skill, if you will. Oftentimes, we all have gifts. I know that we come into this earth with gifts and greatness, but there is a responsibility that I say to cultivate that or to improve upon it. So I've invested a great deal of time, money, and energy into perfecting that gift and to also getting the proper training and guidance. As a coach, I also have coaches, and I think that's important. We all need mentors. We all need someone who is further along than where we are so we can aspire and strive, who can also guide us. And then we also need to be reaching back and pulling someone else on. So I have many people that I've worked with. I'm an avid reader. Read, read, read. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV, although I love specific television entertainment, but I've always been an avid reader. So I'm well read. I love reading books. I love researching. I have a very intriguing mind. So I'm always looking to know more, to understand more about this life experience. And, Jim Rohn has been someone that I've followed. He's an amazing speaker, as we know. Bob Proctor has been someone that I follow. So there are many other people and resources out there. While I may not have met them specifically, I've invested in either their trainings or their resources. And I believe that's important. If you're in any industry, greatness aspires to greatness. So yes. Those are some of the people I've worked with.
Awesome. So, what are some of your greatest accomplishments?
Wow, I can honestly say I think my greatest accomplishment has come through my ability to impact the lives of other people. And there have been many. I remember being on January 1st, a couple of years ago, speaking, and it was the 24 Hours of Power. And a woman saw me speak, and she was in another state, never met me, didn't know me, but something in my message resonated with her, contacted me, hired me to coach her, and her entire life has been transformed. A complete 180. We're talking about someone that was deeply broken and wounded, but had great potential, very smart, 4 degrees, but yet just didn't understand why she wasn't getting to that next level. What was it? And I was able to coach her in an area of healing and developing an infrastructure that really did allow her to understand what she needed to do from a systemic process, day-to-day operations, to get to that next level. Those are some of my greatest accomplishments. I would also say I believe in servant leadership. If you're leading, you're serving first. And so I do a lot of that. I have developed a curriculum which was actually adopted in Prince George's County by the health department. It's a life skills development curriculum. It's a 10-month program where it really works in healing and transformation. And so the curriculum takes a person through their life so that they could see, well, where am I? How did I get here? Who am I? Why am I this way? And then we look back. Well, let's see what the patterns were that you learned, where your belief system is, how did you get that, where your value system is, how did you get that? And then through that, they begin to develop what we call self-awareness, knowledge of self. Oh, that's what I was told, that's what I did, but it doesn't really serve me where I am. It doesn't serve my highest good, my highest self, and where I'm going. So I need to leave that and replace it with this. That's one of my greatest accomplishments to this day. That curriculum is still being used. It is still impacting lives of people that I will never meet. And for me, that's something I'm very proud of, because if we're here to do a work, we're here to do it beyond what we understand and know, not so much just for the here and now, for those who are coming after us.
But what has been one of your greatest setbacks?
I would say my greatest setback has been moments in my life where I've had to reassess. So there was a time I had a production company in New York, was thriving, doing exceptionally well. I ran into a situation where the facility where I was doing all of my production was bought out by just suddenly. I had 30 days to exit the facility and try to find a new place, and all of the things that come with that. Was not able to do it, so it set me back such that I had to really decide, okay, do I continue on with this business infrastructure, or do I really sit back and evaluate, am I supposed to be transitioning into a different area? And as life would have it, because I have the ability to really look at things from a perspective, not so much what I want to do, because we can be that way. Like, I see it, this is what I want, I'm not deviating. But I think that the journey of life is about us opening, kind of the way a lotus flower blossoms and unfolds. Sometimes we think that we are in this space, we've gotten in that space, we've accomplished what we were supposed to. Now it's actually time where we're going to do a trajectory, go move in a different direction. You have to be open to that. And now, so I don't necessarily look at them as setbacks. I look at them as moments that are teachable, learning opportunities to understand, okay, this is what I was supposed to be, this is what I was supposed to be doing, I've accomplished that, I fulfilled that goal, now it's time for me to move to the next direction, and that direction may be in a very different space. So,
Do you find that when people go through situations like the certain things that they think and they're determined and they're set on doing, do you think that their purpose, if you will, or their calling, it's always embedded in that?
I do. I think that the journey of our life will allow us to venture in different areas, doing different things, because we may be picking up different skills, enhancing a skill, learning something that is needed for where we're going that we don't fully understand. So I believe that connecting the dots is really important, which is why we have to be open to receiving and listening and paying attention. So ultimately, your purpose and what you're here to do and your assignment is kind of how I look at it. We all have a divine assignment, right? Your assignment is already here before you get here, but as you prepare to fulfill that assignment, you're going to have different stops along the way where you're going to be either picking up different tools, different skills, information, being stretched in preparation for you to actually fulfill and complete that assignment. And that may look very differently, which means it may look like you go into the working world and you start out from this space and then you're learning different things. But as you're in that space, you're there because you need to learn about operations, you need to learn about finance, you need to learn about communications or technology. And then you may shift and move into a different area that may look like it's completely different. And you're like, well, I went from technology. My undergrad is in information systems. Right. And then I went on to get my MBA. But my point in saying that is I do absolutely nothing in technology. But yet my education was in that. And one would say, well, that's so far removed from what you do as an empowerment coach. And I say, yes, but here's what being in technology taught me: analytical skills. Yes, because if you're writing code and reading code or anything dealing in technology, you're very detailed, very organized. You understand connecting the dots. So that skill was needed in order for me to effectively work with others as an empowerment coach. I receive information from them that I then must analyze, take apart, and really put together to help them understand where their barriers are, where their obstacles are, and what tools and things they need in order to overcome them. So clearly then one could see, well, being in information systems, being a developer, and having that analytical skill was clearly very necessary to what I do today as an empowerment coach.
Exactly. So you also work with Peak Performance Institute with Shay Brown and Trevor Otts. How did you become involved in that organization, and what is your role?
Okay, my role is primarily I assist Shay Brown in sales, so I do a lot of selling, and he is my sales coach. He trained me in selling. I also am extremely detail-oriented, and I have excellent organizational skills, which is necessary to run any business. You have to have someone that's dotting the I's I's and crossing the T's, that, really is organized and knowing processes and systemic things that allow your business to flow, because it must be fluid. And if you don't have that, then it's not effective. And so we met, well, I've known Trevor Otts for many years in Prince George's County, but Shay Brown and I met in 2010, something like that, 2010, and just developed a friendship. And you're in the same area, people, you're working, you're learning. As they developed Peak Performance Institute and they had several projects, I came on board to facilitate from I would say the administrative aspect, organizational skills, detail, communication, follow through, all the things that you need in order for your business to be successful. And then through that, having that skill, having that ability, being willing to serve, as I said, they in turn trained me in the sales aspects, and gives me, even to this day, much guidance. They're great visionaries, and they understand things from different perspectives. But that's what I do for them. I love working with them. They are phenomenal brothers with great visions, exceptionally talented in their respective areas. And everyone needs to know about sales. You're not in business if you're not selling something. You're selling a service or a product. If you don't understand how to close the deal, then you're not in business to make money. We're in business to make money. Economics and economic empowerment is critical and crucial to the continued growth of any organization, anyone's life, particularly us as a culture. We need to understand that. So that's what I do for Peak Performance Institute.
Awesome, awesome. So where do you see your brand in the next 5 years?
Well, in the next 5 years, I see my brand growing and more to an international reach. I have had some opportunities presented in this year to travel to Bali, Indonesia, where I will be doing training, a 2-week training. I will then, in November, be in Costa Rica doing some training. And so I see in 5 years that my brand and my business of what I do will reach, distant shores, not just from empowering people, but also from teaching people about the systemic business infrastructure that is really needed to allow their business to continue to thrive and grow and have longevity long after they're gone. The person who had the vision to start the business, because that is what is needed. I think that that's where I will be in 5 years, distant shores and providing services to a larger global population.
Awesome, and I see it, and it's on the horizon because you have that determination to speak it and believe it and go for it. And my next question for you is, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, my website, divineempowerment.org. You can go to my website. I have all my contact information there. You can download my bio, lots of literature and information, videos that you could see about me. You can also reach me on Facebook. I have a business page on Facebook. It's facebook.com/DBDivine. And Divine Empowerment. And I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @TimeToGetItRight. And so I chose that because I believe that it is the now time to get it right. So it is time, the number 2, get, GETITRITE. RITE. I like to be creatively different. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can find me, Darlene Brown. And so I have a visual presence out there, and people can definitely stay connected with me that way. You can also contact me through Peak Performance Institute, and you can reach me that way. But I'm out there. Google me.
Google.
Yes, I am.
And so what piece of advice would you give somebody who wants to help people, who either want to speak, who want to do some of the similar things, if not the same things as you? What advice, what one nugget would you give them?
Well, the one nugget that I would give you is to believe that you can do it, That's so critically important. I think oftentimes we all have moments where doubt creeps in and we think, can I really do this? You can do it. That is the first thing, because if you don't believe that you can, you won't. And believing that you can means really speaking that into your life. The second thing I just want to say, that you have to be trained and invest in training. If you're going to do something and do it at a level of excellence and you want to be successful, then you must be willing to invest in ensuring that you're training yourself in that industry or area of expertise. The other thing is get a coach, get a mentor. Surround yourself with people who are in that industry who are further along than where you are. It is essential. We all need that. In the old days, they called them mentors. Today, they call them coaches. But you need someone that is truly going to be willing to guide you, kind of grab you by the hand, hold you accountable, and kind of help you navigate that path. So those are the three things I think that you definitely need to do.
I completely agree. Because sometimes people say, "Oh, I got this." YouTube, Google, and they totally get away from somebody tangible, or they get the untouchable mentors like the Oprahs, and those are fine, but you still need somebody that you can pick up the phone and cry your eyes out to, because it's just not going your way, or celebrate in the moment.
Absolutely, you need that. Is very important. So, thank you
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate you.